Hello and welcome to a new series on YouTube. I'm going to try and do what pretty much lots of other people are trying to do, but perhaps coming at it from a different angle. This is a series on different synth devices that are under the bargain bin. So there's several rules that I have decided to do for this particular series. So one is that the device must be under $200 Australian, and ideally I'm trying to find devices which are other people's junk, other people's stuff that no one wants, but I've got exceptions to the rule. So it should be a synth or drum machine or something along that lines. It should have MIDI. Now, there are exceptions to the rule, but I don't know if I'm going to quite find a nice analog mono synth for under $200, although I could be proven wrong, excluding Eurorack, because that's just madness. Now, so today this is what I have found. This is a Zoom RT23-Flaw. Just move that across there so you can actually see it. See, 2, 3, 4. I found this for $50 in a cash converters. It is not a bad drum machine. It is, however, lacking in some areas. But let's start off. So first off, it's fairly basic. So you have 4 sections, which is effectively, set of drums 1, set of drums 2, set of drums 3, and a bass line. And the bass line is kind of like a... And before I should start this series, I should note that I'm not a particularly good player of any kind of instrument, but I do enjoy the equipment. Anyway, so look, it's pretty simple to use. You start with a blank pattern, and there's nothing. Oh, okay. So I have formatted this, and it has at the moment it's got all of the default patterns in here, which, yep, look, they do what they do. They are exactly as they say on the box. This is more a machine meant for, I guess, your drummers. So, let's start off with the basic. Right, so you can quite easily go into general, and it fixes up all of my mistakes because I make them. I can then flick to the bass line and just start doing this. And it makes me sound good, which I can't really complain about. So, because, yeah. Anywho, so, drum sounds. There is a plethora of drum sounds. So if I flick to the second channel, if I hold this down, it'll tell me what kind of drum sounds I got. I am more of a electronic person, so I'm going to scroll all the way up. Now I should note that I figured out the bulk of how to use this without an actual manual. So it's, in that respect, it's actually pretty good. So I can now overlap this. So going back into my... Yeah, it looks stupid, I know. But, so... Yep. And basically that's it. Now all the patterns start off as 2-bar loops. So you think, awesome, I've got a really rockin' 2-bar loop. Not like that, because it's not rockin'. You got awesome 2-bar loop, and you sit there and think, oh, great, I'm going to extend it out. So all you got to do is you got to hit function and bar length, and you see here that it says 2 bars, and you think, oh, awesome, I'll put up 4. What it doesn't do is copy these particular bars over. So what you end up now is 2 bars of your rocking drum loop and 2 bars of empty. So you have to go back and do it all over again. This is a flaw. But you know, I mean, this is not the latest model that ever came out. I think there was a 323 afterwards, or 343 afterwards. Yeah, look, and she's probably got it all in there. So you can quite easily do things. So we've got this lovely. So we go down to here, and we can say got these lovely jam functions. So you can change the pitch, and you think, oh, that's rocks. It is over the whole kit, and you think, oh, great. Well, I'll change the volume of the kit. So you start bring it down, which would be really awesome, except that as soon as you actually change this, it loses all of your pitch. So you think, well, I got a sound change, which again is great, but as soon as you change it, you lose the actual other settings. So you can't actually use any of those particular settings. So some of it's great for like live jamming, but really a bit lame on the old, oh, I've got a great idea, I need to put it in got it in my head, I start fiddling with it, you come back. Anyway, you go. You've got other awesome things like you think, swing, oh great, I'm going to put some swing on this pattern. So my terrible pattern, which sounds terrible because the swing is overkill, but you get the picture. Anyway, the issue about that though is now the swing is on all patterns, not just the pattern on the box. Which kind of is again great, but if you then go, oh, I've got this great pattern for this song and it's got to have this swing, fantastic, go to another pattern, yeah, okay. Other things, yeah, you can choose your quantize, you can do all that. It's got a step sequencer in here as well, so the difference between the two things, let's go to this one, and I'm just going to delete this, right, God, I hope that wasn't something I needed, is you can hold down record and play at the same time, and it'll just go into normal record and play. But if you want to go to record, and now it's in step mode, so you go, you know, step, so it skips, and then obviously you can go back and then start doing snares and stuff like that. It tells you all the bits and pieces on here. So now if I stop that, of course, yeah, don't ask me to write drum loops. No, actually, I'm not too bad when I'm not trying to do this on the fly. Kind of like nervous because I'm being watched, maybe. Anywho, okay, so inputs. I'll see if I can flick this up. Okay, standard 9-volt power supply. It's got a couple of controls in for various bits and pieces. I am going to go back and look up what those are for. MIDI in only, no MIDI out. So it's kind of like they said, you've got some great loops, we're not going to let you actually use them anywhere else but in our drum machine. So you also don't have any export of any of this information. So I hope that you're happy with it and can remember how you did it, or you're happy to sit back and go and kick there, kick there, kick there, because otherwise you're not going to get it out. You've got line in, which is effectively, so if you want to run some external equipment, look, this is designed for basic guitarists and stuff like that. Obviously stereo out and headphone out, and small volume knob on the side. Look, for $50, it's actually a bit of fun. That is the one thing that this is really good at. It is great for live jamming, and it's good for just throwing down ideas. I was a bit unsure, and I sat there for hours and hours and hours and hours fiddling around with it, and it was just good fun. I put together a whole bunch of different loops, which I probably shouldn't play for you because I like weird stuff. Yeah, you can tell I have a slight industrial overtone. And yeah, it's, don't expect anyone else to like it. Anywho, Other things, you've got a groove mode here now, which is kind of like if you could press these two to get there, it's got exit out of this. It has a song mode, which means you can put different patterns together and sort of chain everything out, which is fine. Again, it's great, but again, you would want to be thinking about why you'd want to go to all that effort to chain all these patterns together if you couldn't actually get the information out down the track. There's a strange groove mode thing. These are the built-ins. No, I didn't quite put that there. So you can put things over the top of each other. God, I hate guitars in MIDI. Alright, so I feel like so that now the presenters. Okay, sounds. Okay, getting back to it. Sounds are awesome. For a great, good, solid drum sound, they're good. I'm using this in conjunction with some other analog drum machines that I have, and I'll be doing reviews on them because they actually fit the criteria. And, you know, you've got all kinds of great kits that you can use. They're good, solid, you know, sampled kits, Rompler kits. They're great to throw on top of everything else. I mean, you could just use this for a straight up, you know, some nice solid basic snares or kicks or something. You know, it's got all the usual, I feel like all the usual general MIDI sounds as well. If you go into, I'll skip all the way up. I haven't found a way to quickly skip, and you can't go backwards either. So picking stuff at random. Oh, that's a bit unexciting. You know, so yeah, it's a bit like, you know, MIDI Central. No, let's not go there. I'm trying to find if there's really some interesting ones in here. A lot of them do repeat, but they're different combinations of them on your pads here. Obviously, it's me here. And look, the basses are typically, so this is your bass channel. Your basses are typically more acoustic, and yes, you can change all the notes, so you can determine exactly what notes go where. Look, other than that, it's pretty good. There's your control assigned for your controls up here, sorry. And you can assign them to various bits and pieces. Look, it's great. I have a lot of fun. Don't pay a lot of money for them. I see these going for about $100 a piece. I wouldn't pay anywhere near that. This I bought on a whim after another purchase earlier in the evening before, and was kind of already in that zone of, oh, I must purchase and buy things. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say about this. If you like what I'm doing, obviously hit the, if I point it that way, the like button there. If not, comment, let me know. I have quite a few, thank you, I have quite a few reviews coming up on various bits and pieces. The idea is to try and do some over the next little while. If you're wondering what MODR, it's very hard to do this backwards. If you're wondering what MODR is me. It's an idea that I'm putting together. It is also, and I'll talk about that more later, but it's also not just going to be reviews of old equipment, because that's what I get my hands on. It's going to be reviews of other bits and pieces, and I also have some DIY stuff coming out and some other stuff coming through as well, and hopefully they'll be exciting enough that people will be interested in them. Anyway, this is enough for a first video. Thank you. I hope this recorded. Till next time.